Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be reviewing the first episode of season 5 of The Walking Dead. It returned last night, and I watched it. Obviously, knowing the person that I am, I'm going to be watching Walking Dead. I'm going to be reviewing every single episode from now on, and yeah. Um, so where do I start? Where do I start? Um, So yeah, this episode is called No Sanctuary. So yeah, that's the name of the first episode of season 5. So yeah, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that have yet to actually watch this episode and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and then come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the episode and haven't already, and are still watching this video, um, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because as usual I did. So yeah, basically quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate as usual. Synopsis for this episode: you basically have Rick and the group. They're captured in Terminus, and the group, I mean Rick, Carl, Michonne, Daryl, Tara, Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Bob, Glenn, Maggie, Sasha, and yeah, basically have them all in Terminus, and it seems like they're basically gonna butcher them. Pretty evident that they're cannibals. We've more or less known that for a while. It seems like they're gonna butcher them, like the shit out of them. Um, but then Carol comes to the rescue. You see Carol. There's kind of a side story with her, like a subplot with her. Her and Tyreese and Judith. They arrive to this one cabin. You'll see one of the Terminus people talking about people from her group, Michonne and Carl. Carl, more specifically. Carol goes into Terminus, basically demolishes the shit out of it. Um, there's this giant gas tank in front of Terminus, and she explodes that. Um, Rick, Glenn, Bob, and Daryl are able to escape because they were captured, like to be butchered before Carol comes. So they're outside of the train cart. So they try to save the group, and kill as many termites as possible, kill as many zombies as possible. Basically anarchy. Carol, same thing. She knows that her people are there because she saw them taking away Rick and Bob and Daryl and Glenn. So she knows she has to rescue her people. Um, so basically, this kind of combination, they all try to escape, and you don't really see Carol reunite with the group till the very end. And then also on the flip side, you have Tyreese with Judith and this one Terminus survivor who they attacked. Carol and Tyreese attacked or ambushed little prior to Carol going away. Basically he says that you're all gonna die because you're too much of a nice guy, and apparently Tyreese, even though he is a nice guy, he does don't mess with him because he's gonna turn into a bad guy, badass motherfucker. Um, yeah, he basically beats the shit out of this Terminus guy. He was about to kill Judith with his bare hands, so that's fucked up as it is. He says to go out and kill all the walkers around, hoping you know basically the Terminus survivor was hoping that he could contact his people, not knowing what was actually going down in Terminus. Tyreese comes back in after having killed all the walkers, beats the living shit out of that one Terminus survivor, and now Judith and Tyreese are reunited with Carol and the rest of the group. Which basically it's a huge ass group at this point. At this point in the group, you have Rick, Carl, Judith, Daryl, Maggie, Glenn, Carol, Tyreese, Sasha, Bob, Eugene, Abraham, Rosita. Is that it? Michonne. Tara. Yeah, 15 survivors in that group. Did I say Judith? 16. No, wait, 15. I did say Judith. So yeah, that's a huge ass group. And then the one thing that everybody's talking about, the post-credit scene. Walking Dead doesn't tend to do post-credits, but they did it this time around, and god damn it, was it maybe one of the best scenes they've ever had in a long fucking time. Intro and outro. Um, Major spoilers if you haven't seen it by this point, and if it hasn't been ruined like a motherfucker also at this point. Morgan is back. You see him arriving to this one terminus sign where it says no sanctuary, which Rick, put dirt, basically covers the whole sanctuary thing. It says no on top of it. Now it says sanctuary, those who arrive survive. Now it just says no sanctuary, whatever. Morgan comes up to he's like, he has like this shit face, like he's like, fuck, now what? And he starts just going off trail and goes into the forest. One of the best scenes ever, man. So yeah, this was an incredible episode. It had a lot of action. It was action packed. I think the only episode that could compete with this episode on how action packed it was is Too Far Gone, because that was also a pretty action packed episode too. I mean, here the action was just incredible. You have a lot of badass moments from Rick, from Carol, from Daryl, from Bob, from Glenn, Tyreese, pretty badass. He took down. He started off taking down this one, the Terminus survivor. He took him down by basically tackling him, with his legs. Like he jumps on him like a gorilla, and basically does like a chokehold with his legs. And basically starts beating the shit out of him. So that was pretty badass. We had a lot of badass moments. There's this one scene where Daryl, he comes up behind a walker that's about to, bite Rick, and he stabs a pipe through it. So that's pretty cool. Rick, he mowed down like 5 or 6 guys with a machine gun, so that was pretty cool. Shit, what was it cool? Let's see. I mean, Carol basically explodes the entrance of Terminus. She blew up the entrance of Terminus, for God's sake. So that's that you have to factor that in there too. She killed Mary basically too. It's funny because Carol and Mary, who's played by Denise Crosby, she was in a Star Trek show back in the 80s or 90s. Denise Crosby, whatever. That's the actress. But in the show, she plays this character called Mary. So Carol and Mary, they basically have like a cat fight in the funeral room. Within the funeral room, it's like where all the candles were, like a kind of spiritual room. Mary comes up behind Carol, says to drop her stuff so she could kill her, and Carol, not wanting to die, she starts shooting at Mary. They start, going hand to hand, and eventually, Carol gets the upper hand, shoots Mary in the thigh, and leaves the walkers to eat her. Also, Carol is covered in zombie guts, so there's that too. I mean, a lot of badass moments. I mean, I cannot express how badass some of these moments were. So yeah, you also have a bit on Eugene. He's talking about how he could possibly cure the world, and apparently what the government wanted to do is just kill every single remaining person. So yeah. Apparently the government, according to him, they just want to kill everybody. So yeah, that, I guess. So yeah. Also in the beginning of the episode, Sam returns, the kid from episode 4 of season 4. He returns. He plays the Penguin on Gotham now, which is also another great show. He returns and basically they knock him out and then slice his throat, and they do that to 3 other survivors, and they were about to do that to Glenn, which is something that many people were worried about, that they were gonna kill Glenn off in this first episode, but he's alive. So yeah. I mean, there's just so many incredible scenes. I'm gushing at it. Let's see, the dialogue, the script, the writing, that was pretty good. Also, especially, I mean, because we actually had, because that came out wrong. The writing for this episode overall was pretty good. The acting for this episode was pretty good, pretty intense. So yeah, Gareth, I kind of want to know what happened to him because I know he should be returning this season because they didn't kill him off. So what are they gonna do with him? Who knows? Um, so yeah, so many incredible moments. Also, there was two flashbacks which apparently shows that Gareth, Alex, and Mary. For those who don't remember who Alex is, he was the guy who got shot at the end of season 5, in Terminus. That's Alex. And basically, there's a flashback with all three of them in there, and basically what turned them into cannibals. Gareth basically says, you're either the butcher or the cattle. So that was pretty weird and dark, and it kind of reminds me of that one quote by the governor that says, "You you kill or you die, or you die and then kill." So it kind of reminds me of that. So yeah, just a pretty intense episode. Pretty what the fuck episode. It's a pretty badass episode. One of the better episodes of The Walking Dead, and probably one of the better season premieres, or season finals. Season premieres, season finals, mid season premiere, or mid season final that we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to give this a 10 out of 10. It's just incredible. So yeah. Also, you had a few touching scenes at the end. Rick reunites with Judith. Rick and Carl reunite with Judith. Sasha reunites with Tyreese. Daryl reunites with Carol. The whole group basically reunites. And there's this one thing that I found kind of funny. One thing that I found kind of funny is that you have Abraham, Tara, Rosita, and Eugene, and they don't know any of these people. Like, they know some of them, but they don't really know any of them. And everybody's like reuniting, and they're just like standing. They're like, now what? They're like looking at each other. It's pretty funny. So yeah. 10 out of 10 is what I'd give episode 1 of season 5 of The Walking Dead, No Sanctuary. 10 out of 10. Oh god. So yeah, that's basically it for this review. Subscribe if not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. I review The Walking Dead comic books and TV shows. I also review Gotham, Arrow, Flash, Scorpion, Z Nation, Grace Point. Yeah. Lost my train of thought. Constantine once it comes out. I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. I know. Okay, here. This is what I review. TV show wise, I review as of now Gotham, Scorpion, Flash, Arrow, Grace Point, Z Nation, and Walking Dead. I swear I'm missing 2 shows though. I feel like I'm missing 2 more shows. Constantine once it comes out, and I feel like I'm missing something else, but I know that's my whole schedule. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna review TV show wise. So definitely stay tuned for that. So yeah, subscribe, comment down below on your thoughts on your favorite. Actually, yeah, what was your favorite zombie kill of this week? Comment that down below. Let me know. One of my favorites was the zombie explosion, where you basically have Carol and she blows up the gasoline tank at the front of Terminus, and there's like 50 walkers that just go flying off. I don't know if that counts as 1 walker or like 30 walkers, but that's pretty badass. If you want a single walker kill, I like the one where Daryl comes up behind Rick and just puts a pipe through it. So yeah. What's your favorite walker kill from this episode? And also, what are your thoughts on this episode as a whole? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Besides that, like this episode, like this video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.